Imagine a solid wall of earth, rock, and debris suddenly breaking free from a hillside. It surges forward with terrifying speed, swallowing everything in its path. This isn't a scene from a disaster movie. It's the raw power of a landslide, a force of nature that can reshape landscapes in an instant. Landslides are more than just geological events. They are stark reminders of the immense power of the natural world and our vulnerability in the face of it. In 2014, a devastating landslide struck the village of Oso, Washington, leaving a scar on the landscape and the community. What was once a quiet neighborhood was transformed into a scene of chaos and destruction in a matter of minutes. The Oso landslide, triggered by heavy rainfall, demonstrated the sheer, unpredictable force of nature and the devastating consequences for those caught in its path. This event, like countless others across the globe, underscores the urgent need to understand and prepare for the threat of landslides. These events are not isolated incidents. From the rugged slopes of the Himalayas to the rolling hills of Europe, landslides pose a threat to communities around the world. While they vary in scale and impact, the underlying principle remains the same. Gravity acting upon unstable slopes, often catalyzed by external factors. Understanding these factors is crucial to mitigating the risks associated with landslides and protecting vulnerable populations. Landslides occur when the stability of a slope is compromised, causing the ground to give way under the force of gravity. Imagine a precarious stack of blocks. If you remove a crucial block at the bottom, the entire structure collapses. Similarly, various factors can weaken the structural integrity of a slope, making it susceptible to failure. Understanding these factors is key to predicting and mitigating landslide risks. One of the most significant contributors to slope instability is water. Heavy rainfall can saturate the ground, adding weight and reducing its ability to hold together. Think of a sponge. When it's dry, it's light and firm, but when saturated with water, it becomes heavy and prone to deformation. The same principle applies to soil. Excess water acts as a lubricant, reducing friction between soil particles and increasing the likelihood of a slide. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and even human activities like deforestation and construction can also trigger landslides. These events can disrupt the delicate balance of forces holding a slope in place, setting the stage for catastrophic failure. For instance, deforestation removes the binding roots of trees, leaving the soil vulnerable to erosion and landslides, particularly during periods of heavy rainfall. While some slopes are naturally more prone to landslides due to their geological formation or steepness, human activities can exacerbate the risk. Unplanned development on steep slopes, inadequate drainage systems, and the removal of vegetation can all contribute to increased landslide susceptibility. It's crucial to recognize that while we cannot control the forces of nature, we can influence our vulnerability to them through responsible land management practices. Landslides are a global phenomenon impacting communities from the Himalayas to the Andes, from the Pacific Northwest to Southeast Asia. Their occurrence is not limited by geography or climate. Wherever there are slopes, there's a potential for landslides. Understanding the global distribution of landslide-prone areas is essential for effective disaster preparedness and risk reduction strategies. In mountainous regions like Nepal and China, landslides are a frequent occurrence, often triggered by heavy monsoon rains or seismic activity. The steep terrain, coupled with loose soil and heavy rainfall, creates a perfect storm for landslides, posing a significant risk to communities nestled in the valleys below. The 2015 Gorkha earthquake in Nepal triggered numerous landslides, causing widespread devastation and highlighting the vulnerability of mountainous regions to such events. Coastal regions are also susceptible to landslides, particularly those with steep cliffs or bluffs overlooking the ocean. Wave action at the base of cliffs can erode the supporting rock, leading to instability and eventual collapse. California's Pacific Coast Highway, known for its scenic beauty, is also notorious for frequent landslides, often resulting in road closures and costly repairs. Landslides are not just a problem for developing countries. Even developed nations with advanced infrastructure and disaster preparedness measures are vulnerable. The Oso landslide in Washington state and the 2014 landslide in Aberfan, Wales, are stark reminders that landslides can occur anywhere, regardless of a nation's economic status. This underscores the need for global cooperation in sharing knowledge, technology, and resources to mitigate landslide risks, and build resilient communities worldwide. Lives forever changed. Personal stories of survival and loss. Behind the statistics and geological explanations lie countless personal stories of survival, loss, and resilience in the face of landslide disasters. These stories humanize the impact of these events, reminding us that behind every landslide there are families and communities forever changed. Hearing their stories allows us to connect with the human cost of landslides and understand the importance of prevention and mitigation efforts. In 2014, Emma, a resident of Oso, Washington, lost her home and several loved ones in the devastating landslide. She recounts the harrowing experience of that day, the deafening roar of the earth, and the overwhelming sense of loss that followed. Emma's story, like many others, highlights the emotional and psychological toll of landslides, a burden that often lingers long after the initial event. In another corner of the world, a young boy named Pemba survived a landslide that swept through his village in Nepal. Buried under the rubble for hours, Pemba was eventually rescued, bearing the physical and emotional scars of the disaster. His story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, but also a stark reminder of the vulnerability of children in the face of natural disasters. These stories, while heartbreaking, also offer a glimmer of hope and inspiration. They showcase the strength of the human spirit, the unwavering support within communities, and the dedication of first responders who risk their lives to save others. They remind us that even in the face of unimaginable tragedy, there is always hope for recovery, rebuilding, and a future where communities are better prepared to face the challenges posed by nature. Predicting the unpredictable early warning systems and risk reduction. While we can't completely prevent landslides, we can take steps to reduce their impact and protect lives. Predicting when and where landslides might occur is a crucial part of this effort. Scientists use a variety of tools and techniques, including monitoring rainfall, studying the geology of an area, and even using satellites to detect ground movement. Early warning systems are becoming increasingly important in landslide-prone areas. These systems use real-time data to detect signs of an impending landslide, such as increased rainfall or ground movement. If a landslide is detected, alerts can be sent to residents via text messages, sirens, or other means, giving them valuable time to evacuate to safety. However, technology alone is not enough. Public awareness and education are equally important in reducing landslide risks. Educating communities about the causes of landslides, the warning signs, and what to do during an event can save lives. This includes simple but crucial steps like knowing evacuation routes, having an emergency plan in place, and listening to local authorities during periods of heavy rainfall or other potential triggers. Building codes and land use planning also play a vital role in reducing landslide risk. Restricting construction on steep slopes, implementing erosion control measures, and ensuring proper drainage systems can significantly reduce the likelihood of landslides. These measures may seem costly in the short term, but the potential savings in lives and property damage in the long run are immeasurable. Respecting the power of nature, building a safer future. Landslides are a powerful reminder of the forces that shape our planet and the importance of respecting the power of nature. While we strive to understand and mitigate the risks associated with these events, it's crucial to remember that we are ultimately guests in nature's grand design. Building a safer future requires a delicate balance between human development and environmental stewardship. Moving forward, it's essential to invest in research and development of innovative technologies for landslide detection and early warning systems. This includes improving our understanding of the complex factors that contribute to landslides, developing more accurate prediction models, and creating more effective communication systems to reach vulnerable communities. Investing in these areas is not just about protecting lives and property, it's about building a more resilient and sustainable future for all. Collaboration is key. Sharing knowledge, expertise, and resources across borders is essential for developing effective landslide risk reduction strategies. International cooperation can facilitate the exchange of best practices, technology transfer, and capacity building in developing countries that are particularly vulnerable to landslide hazards. By working together, we can create a global network of informed and prepared communities. Ultimately, building a safer future requires a fundamental shift in our perspective. We must move away from the notion that we can conquer nature and embrace a more harmonious relationship with the environment. This means respecting natural boundaries, adopting sustainable land use practices, and prioritizing the preservation of ecosystems that play a crucial role in maintaining slope stability. By working in harmony with nature, we can create a future where communities are safer and more resilient in the face of natural hazards.